You're regional director with the Executive Center for Chennai, South India, and for Sri Lanka as well, where we have a multi-center operation in Colombo. Let's catch up and talk about the impact of COVID onto your markets and how your business was doing prior, and then how it so radically changed over these past 2 months. How are you?
Things was very, very different. Things was fantastic in 2019. But this year, the situation is very different compared to how it was last year. The COVID pandemic is something no one has experienced before. This is something absolutely new to us. But we are very positive, especially in Chennai and Sri Lanka markets. Both are different markets. It started with 13%, 15% of people going to work. Now has increased to 25 to 50%, which is a positive sign. It will take time. This COVID will take time. We will have to live with it, get used to this until we get a vaccine for this.
Yes, it's been a huge impact on all of us. And I think the idea that the government and the population of India would jointly cooperate to lock down the country for a period of basically 2 months was something that at the beginning of the year probably nobody would have believed was possible, and yet it did happen.
We started in Colombo in 2017 in one of the best building in WTC. We had 2 floors. We started with a 250 workstation center. When we started with an 80% occupancy, and 90% of the clients were Fortune 500 companies, global companies. At this particular junction, the clients coming into especially being these global clients coming into the center is very minimal.
Yes.
When people started coming in May, it was 4%. Now, in the first week of June, it has now increased to 9%. We hope this will increase to a double digit by next week. We're all positive that the people will start coming in. But we are very, very particular when it comes to the health and safety of our clients as well as ourselves is concerned. Team has done a tremendous job. Our whole operations team, including housekeeping, has done a fabulous job in implementing the safety and precautionary measures as per the WHO guidelines. The deep cleaning of the center, sanitizing the center on a daily basis, no contact policy, sanitizing and masks. Our sanitizers and masks are placed in the common areas. Temperature and social distancing in the common areas are maintained very well to ensure the safety of the clients and safety of our members and us is a priority. So we are very, very particular on that.
And that's something that we've been doing across all of the markets, right? Because the safety of our members and the companies that they work for, and clearly the safety of our own team is fundamental. If we can take care of ourselves, take care of our working conditions, and offer an environment that people feel comfortable to work in, then all the rest of it, revenue, that takes care of itself. These, as you said, these are very different times to even 6 months ago. And what about in Chennai?
Even in Chennai, we're following the same guidelines. We want to ensure the clients are safe, taken care. In fact, most of the clients were working from home. So we have taken this additional steps to ensure their work don't suffer when they're working from home. In fact, there are a few examples which I want to tell you. A few of our clients have exclusive dedicated landline numbers in both the regions. And they expect more calls coming into their landline numbers. So in fact, an IT team has made arrangements where the calls have been diverted to their mobile numbers so that they don't miss out these important calls when they're working from home. Apart from that, there are clients, who want to have their VPN to be set at their home, Wi-Fi configuration, printer to be set. These kind of additional support is something we have given them to ensure they don't miss out on their work at home. Also, another best part was, especially during this lockdown, the centers, all the centers were operational 24/7, accessible all the times with AC, power and connectivity. are provided without any interruptions for clients. That's important, especially whenever, because there are few segments, few sectors of clients like insurance and banking sectors who can anytime come and work. So we made sure that it is accessible for them to come and work without any interruptions.
Your business is held together very, very well. And now, just this week, India has announced a gradual, stepped easing of the lockdown, and as you said earlier, a return to business, which will play out over the next probably 2 months. So what's your profile looking forward? Do you have a backlog of client leads, or is it very quiet? How do you see the next, let's say, 8 weeks playing out?
We have a pipeline which we were working on, but things have slowed down over the last 2 months. People were not taking decisions. They were going slow.
A lot of your client base is headquartered in the US and Europe, in the UK, continental Europe, and North America. And they are having many of their own problems right now, COVID and otherwise. Has those issues in those markets reflected back into your markets in Chennai and Colombo?
We are seeing a slight dip in all the sectors because we are dependent on American and Europe markets, and this pandemic is affecting the whole global market. Especially this impact is on small scale industries, but this will take some time to recover. But we are seeing healthcare and insurance sectors doing fairly well. And we're also seeing companies downsizing, especially corporates who would want to have their space in the commercial sectors, wants to downsize. So we want to ensure we're building a pipeline to ensure we provide the services in executive center. Because what happens is, keeping the current pandemic in mind, most of the corporates, most of the global sectors who have space in commercial sectors, commercial buildings wants to downsize. Why? They are implementing a work from home option. They to keep their operational cost minimal. The second thing is they are also looking at identifying a small offices instead of having one large building, so that people who stay close to home can go and work to that space. Also, they are looking at mainly social distancing and low densified offices, and we play a major role in providing the best solutions. So we are building a pipeline, and we are seeing an increase. We are seeing a slow increase in the inquiries, and hopefully by weekly basis, we will increase our pipeline.
Executives and people who work in offices 3-4 months after the lockdown are coming to the offices, and they're coming to the offices in even bigger numbers than before COVID. I don't know if you know, Naveen, but our average member attendance in 2019 and in prior years was between 65 and 70%, because many of our members travel. Many of our members attend meetings off-site, or maybe even back then were working from home. But what we've seen now is post-COVID, once they feel safe and once there's been a bit of time for people to build in their confidence, they are using our offices as their home base for all of their activities. So again, the maintenance of our spaces in a healthy, socially distanced, appropriate way is fundamental to the safety of our members, and also, frankly, the health of the company. I mean, that's how we're going to maintain the revenue here. In a downturn, companies use flexible office space as a hedge against uncertainty, because they know that if they sign permanent space with a landlord, even for only a 3-year period, the rents over that period will decline further before they recover. So people come to a flexible solution while they wait for the market uncertainties to play out. You are a regional director of South India. You have 2 major markets, one of them a country market. You have multiple multinational clients. You have thousands of members under your custodianship. You have multiple teams. And yet you yourself have been working from home. And that must have been a very different experience for you, because I'm sure, as in fact I know, that this must be the first time in many years that you have spent so much time at home with your family. How has that experience been?
You are right, Paul. I have never in my life has experienced the work from home option, because we are into a serviced office model, and I am from a hospitality industry. It's very important for me to face clients, face my members, face guests. So that's how my life has been. But working from home was a very different experience. One is a very challenging experience. I'm being very honest. It's a very challenging experience. Um, it When you're at work, you're very organized. You know your work timings. You ensure that you focus on your work timing from this time to this time. But when you're at home, it is very disorganized. Unfortunately, you can't focus on things. But one positive thing is your family has been a great support to me. My wife, either my children, they've been very supportive. But when we're not used to this, it is very difficult, and I found it very difficult.
It is the reality of what the world is today, and learning how to balance that work-life equation is very important as well. So, well, good. Well, I see that you were able to mark your first and last day of working at home, so I'm sure that you personally are very happy to be back in the office.
Absolutely excited and more productive.
More and more productive. I love that.